perfect start right there.
I didn't want to. I kind of suppressed my cough.
The season of coughing.
Oh, look at that, Tim. We're having webcam on, and Tim is on with a wonderful looking Corona.
Yeah. 'Tis the season.
Including a little lime in there, if I am not mistaken.
We had Mexican food today, so I had to stay with the theme.
Family time and Coronas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you sound like you have it. I'm drinking it. It's
I sound like I have it. Why?
Just sound sick. That's all.
Well,
season.
that's the good news. Good news. What am I talking about? That's the bad news. The bad news is that I was sick for 5 days. It was bad. I'm actually going to get a test kit to see if I'm actually corona-ridden or not. But the good news is that today I feel so much better.
There you go. And you went to the cinema to see things.
And I was strong enough to go to the cinema and see
That's very
things.
brave of you. That's very brave of you. Don't you know that Krampuses roam the streets?
Yeah, December 5th. I forgot about that.
Saint Nick is about.
Nice catch.
So is Krampuses as well.
Anyway, just to bore other people right now, I have this wonderful tall mug of what I've been drinking for the past 5 days, which is what a British friend of mine called a hot toddy.
A hot toddy. Okay, first of all, it looks like you should be drinking blue milk out of that. That's for sure. And secondly, what's a hot toddy?
A hot toddy, apparently, is lemon, honey, boiling hot water, and I added my own little chamomile tea, which isn't necessary, plus whiskey.
I used to
so
do...
that's a hot toddy.
Oh, I see. I used to do that, but with I wouldn't have water. I would heat up orange juice for the vitamin C, and I would put Jägermeister in there instead of whiskey. That used to be me the
Was that delicious?
Not as delicious as much as it worked to, like, put back in the day when you're young and you need to pull yourself the sickness out of you, the exorcism of the sickness. That's, you drink a big cup of that and in the evening, and then maybe by the morning you'll be fine. Worked sometimes. Sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes it didn't.
I don't want to bore everybody else about my personal biology, but this has been an unusual couple of days because I'm usually very, very fast to recover. I usually get sick. I feel it coming the night before. I get sick and I'm just sick. I'm just for maybe a day, and then the next day already feeling better. Or, give or take, I might be feeling even worse, but then the next day, already done. No problem. But this was 5 consecutive days. I don't think I've experienced something like that before.
I don't know, man. I haven't been sick like sick in a very long time, so I'm really grateful. I mean, I guess it's a side effect of all the not meeting with people and washing all the hands and the masks. So you don't get the usual garbage, and also not going to the office. So you get sick in the office all the time. Yeah, because one person would just not care and come to the office sick, and then have to the office.
I am very surprised at how many people just don't wash their hands that often. Because
disgusting.
A friend of mine that I went to Japan with, when we went to Japan, she noticed that I wash my hands every time I come back home.
Yeah, that's normal.
That's normal. I always thought that was normal.
That's absolutely normal. You come home and you wash your hands.
Yeah.
Take off your shoes. Don't use your shoes in the house, you filthy Americans. Stop it immediately. And then also wash your hands as you come in. That's good.
I don't get it. I don't know. That was a revelation to me. That people don't wash their hands, because I feel it. I feel my hands, even though I didn't touch anything. I'm like, I have to wash my hands. Yeah, that's just how.
Wash your hands before you eat. So it's all good stuff. But So as we said, it is the Corona times. Here's the today's episode.
Talk about this.
Today's episode is going to be interesting because it's not good in my country. We're on lockdown, full lockdown. Cinemas are closed. No one can go. I'm fully vaccinated. Can't go to cinemas. All closed up. So I haven't actually seen this week's movie.
No. Oh no!
Phil is the only one
no.
who's seen the new movie. I've seen the old one. I've seen it a few times before, but I watched it again today. So this is going to be an interesting episode. It's going to be more like an interview episode because I need to find out from Phil how this compares.
I just watched
it. 1.5 fold today.
I watched it 3 hours ago.
Fresh.
In the cinema. And I do, I have some stories to tell you about the cinema process again, the experience of going to the cinema.
Here we go again. Let's do this. Let's play our song, and let's get to the cinema experience.
Play the song.
Ghostbusters!
Nice. Okay, so let's get right into it. The cinema experience. Went inside, and then it hit me. I'm watching this on a Sunday night.
Oh no! Oh no, people.
Yes. There's people. The good news is that my entire row was just for me.
Good.
One silver lining. The bad news is that I texted you before I started watching. I'm like,
yeah,
Lord save me. There's a gaggle of teenage girls on the right side just behind me, and they are talking and laughing.
Did they come for what's the kid's name? Stranger
Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah,
I was gonna get to that because
Wolfmother.
Finn Wolfmother. I was gonna get to that because so basically I was very upset because they just wouldn't stop talking, and the movie started, and I thought, okay, trailers. I'm already getting a little bit upset, but they're just like,
yeah, trailers, sometimes they shut up.
That's what you hear all the time, right? And it's like there's quiet moments in the movie. So now, unfortunately, I've been so distracted. I'm trying to watch the film, but I've been so distracted because I'm hoping that there won't be a quiet part where I'm going to hear those children.
You lived in fear.
Yes. So during the film, I said, once it gets quiet and I hear them, I'm just going to turn around and go, shh.
You're going to be Grandpa Phil?
And I did that twice.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you go, girl. You tell those teenagers to shut up.
And then and instead of enjoying the film, I've been thinking like, should I stand up if they're too quiet and just be like, please stop. Do you want me to get the employees to take?
You want me to get the Ghostbusters?
But then I kind of overthought that, and I thought the repercussion, like, what did they, it's a very Phil thing to do.
Yeah, you overthought.
And instead I went, you know what? There's a whole row of seats that no one's in, so I just moved.
There you go. Perfect solution.
Problem solved.
You didn't hear them anymore? You were like,
I heard them, but I didn't hear them enough. But I didn't hear them
enough. You needed more.
No, I didn't hear them enough for me to be satisfied, but it was okay then. It was okay.
That's good.
Now,
perfect.
I love that you brought up Finn Wolfhard or whatever, whatever his name is.
Yes.
Because when the credits were rolling after this film, when Finn Wolfhard's name was there, those girls were just like, woo!
I knew it.
How did you know? I was like, how did this, there's a fan base for Finn Wolfhard?
Because nobody gives a shit about Ghostbusters. Kids, why would they?
That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong.
Kids, really?
There was a 7-year-old girl right below, in front of me with her dad.
With her dad. There you go. Dad loves Ghostbusters.
And during a climactic moment, I saw when the characters did a thing and it was successful. There's triumphant music. Yes. I saw the girl just raise her arm like this. Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that there's no dads or parents or that even millennial parents who their brothers and parents show them Ghostbusters. But I'm talking about a teenager of today's age. Like they have no.
But they shouldn't be watching the film then.
But they came for Lion
I want
Bart.
to watch the film.
They came for a kid. They came for the boy.
They came
because he's from.
They came for the boy.
They came for the boy because he's like from Stranger Things and stuff, and he was also in that movie we watched.
Yeah,
The Bird. What was it called?
Oh yeah, Birdemic.
The Birdemic. No, something.
Goldfinch.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Wow,
that's true. That's beginning of this podcast. No. But I'm pretty sure kids. I know. Okay, well, we were talking about a lot of things.
Okay, but I just wanted to bring these up because this is my experience. But anyway, I just wanted to say it's curious to me that there's some kids who want to watch Ghostbusters, and that makes no sense to me. Because this series is definitely something that was just one good movie in 1984. And somehow it created this huge franchise.
Yes.
For lack of a better term. And I'm still a little bit confused to why. And here's another interesting thing about me and Ghostbusters. Unlike many of the other films that we've been watching that resurrect old things, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, I haven't seen Ghostbusters until I was like 17 or something like that.
I haven't seen Ghostbusters until I was 19.
Yeah.
I knew the song. I saw the music video like 1,000 times.
Yeah. For sure. I knew the concept.
The people in the
TV show, the cartoon.
The Slimer.
The real
you saw the Slimer. You know the Slimer.
Yeah.
You know the suits. You know the
premise.
You know everything, but you never. So we're in the same boat. That's hilarious.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
And then you get a blowjob from a ghost.
I'm turning into a ghost.
Exactly.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
I'm afraid of ghosts.
Speaking of which,
Dan Aykroyd is not afraid of no ghosts.
I keep forgetting that you didn't see the new film.
No, this is interesting. This is exploding right now. But I think we've just like unlocked like when you go play a video game and you just unlock like 5 different paths, and we have to like now concentrate and just go each path. Okay, so have we closed the cinema experience?
Yes.
Book. Okay, that book is closed. Let's get out of the business. So we watched today. We both watched Ghostbusters from 1984. Phil's dying, and then Phil went to see.
Every time I laugh, I just cough.
With a bunch of teenagers, you went to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. Is that correct?
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Those bastards.
Those bastards Afterlife.
Die, you Ghostbusters.
But also sounds Ghostbusters like you're from Boston.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Now I want to just mention how Ghostbusters became like. What is it? What kind of a? Because like for me, it's a good film, but that's all it is for me.
I mean, there's the logo, there's a song, there's some prime merchandising, incentive right there. I would say it's kind of like calls for it. There's a theme of capitalism and going to business in the movie as well.
Yeah.
Watching this movie, I was like, I've seen this movie. I've seen it like you as well. Like I've seen it when I was 19. I knew about it before, but living where I lived, you don't have access to classic movies. You hear about them like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. But I haven't watched those movies actually for real until I was like when I moved away from Serbia and I was in Belfast. So I watched Ghostbusters. I have it on DVD. Ghostbusters 1 and 2 together.
Oh yeah.
I watched it, but and I've seen it a couple of times afterwards. Like showed it to people, showed it to my nieces. Gotta watch this. It's a classic. Sit down. Gotta watch some Ghostbusting. But I was watching this movie and I was thinking like, how do I put this? I think this movie, why is it good? It's like, it's good because some of its parts is good. Like each of the elements, there's lots of bits to this movie, and each of those elements on their own are nothing amazing, nothing great. But I think all of it to get like, you have like the story of them going to business and everything, but it's like, it's just a little flavor there. And there's a love story there, but nothing really happens. There's some like ghosts and like some info, like there's no lore. It's just a bunch of just a bunch of keywords bumped together. Makes no sense what's happening. The gate opening and then the Zool coming out. It's all just a bunch of
the Gozerian. Yeah,
just a bunch of mumbo jumbo together. Comedy.
That's not the point.
Comedy's all over. Like there's you got Bill Murray.
It's a soft comedy
doing his thing. Like, Rick Moranis doing his thing. I mean, but I think it's just it's a bunch of things that by themselves would be weak, but I think all together mushed in this one movie, that's what makes the movie great. I would say like it has lots of everything, and then I think the strongest point would be the casting. That's got to
Yeah.
be like every
It's those
single
guys.
person.
You like hanging out with those guys. They work so well together and they're so laid back.
And not just them, but every single one, like Rick and Sigourney, they're amazing. Annie Potts is over there. Ernie's there.
Ghostbusters.
You know, and then also the mayor and the Dickless and everyone. It's like, I think it's just like perfect. I couldn't imagine anyone else playing those parts. So
Well, I mean, like, they keep trying to make another Ghostbusters and they never can.
can't make another Ghostbusters. I don't remember number 2. It's weird.
Well, that's the one where they,
It's Vigo
you know,
or
they
something.
travel on. Yeah. That's the one where they travel to on the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty's walking
There's a
down
painting.
New York.
I remember there's a
And
painting.
the painting. Yeah. With what's his name? Vigo.
No, I
right?
don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? We were about to start recording. We're both pulling up Wikipedia so we don't look like a bunch of morons. And I just found out, as I was telling Phil, that Ivan Reitman, the director of the original movie, was born about 5 miles away from me, where I'm sitting right now.
Yeah, it's amazing. 5 miles away from you.
Yeah, it's Komar now. But you know what's funny? It's
Ivan Reitman.
But the thing is that in this movie, they're talking about in the original Ghostbusters. They're talking about the original architect who designed the building that Sigourney and Rick are living in, and it's like supposed to be built as like this beacon to like attract ghosts and stuff.
Yes, that's the
And
that's
his
the
last
building.
name is Shandor, which is like such a last name of this area. It's hilarious.
yeah?
I was like wondering, like why did they put Shandor as like the last name? That's like such a Slovakian.
Oh, right, they call him
Hungarian.
Shandor.
And I was like, and then I was like, I saw him like he was born. Like, okay, I see some connection there.
Yeah, Ghostbusters one's enjoyable watch. I watched it yesterday. I think I can't remember. Watched it in 4K. It looks so good. Like it's so like the pristine graininess, and
the graininess.
I loved. Also, what I really admired about seeing that technically was the effects, not the compositing. The compositing is bad, but the effects lent themselves so well to that grainy look, and so I think that there's so much to be admired of it with how they were approaching those techniques at the time, because they were really looking at the film that they're using, and compositing aside, like the stop motion worked well. The ghosts especially looked really good. Like when I'm looking at that, I could easily be like, wow, how did they do that in 1984?
It's funny, like you said, you know, like in 1984, you'd be watching like, wow, what that's, you know, but you're watching right now. It's like a museum of all the movie tricks. As you'd be like, oh, now you're watching, you're like, oh, this is stop motion. Oh, this is a puppet. Oh, this you can like clearly see this is a miniature, and it's and it doesn't take away, because I think the ideas and the like stylistically, it's so identifiable, you know, like the Stay Puft Marshmallow and all the ghosts and everyone. That you don't read, like even the dogs, the Gozer dogs, whatever you know, I don't know what they're called. Like them,
The Keymaster and the Gatekeeper.
Yeah, them terribly
there's some-
composited little.
Yes, they are very badly composited, but they have a charm, right? A little bit, you know.
Yeah.
when he's running.
I like but it's completely fine. You just like, I think even when I watched this for the first time, obviously everything looked like that. Like there was not maybe the miniature of Stay Puft like walking down the street, because
That
there's
was
no
actually
composited.
very good.
That looks good. They got the slow motion right. They got the scale right. So that one looks good. But most of this stuff is like, what? What's happening? Even
it's all-
Sigourney's Weaver like apartment, like the fake backdrop of the city is
It's nice.
You're like, oh, look at this.
There's something fun about it, though.
Yeah, it's true.
It gives it that paint, that flavor, that nice, you know. Anyway, I don't know what else I could say about Ghostbusters. It just has, it's so mellow.
It's such a chill to watch, and it's just like every single of those actors. It's just so fun. I think older I am, I know, you know, Bill Murray is Bill Murray, and we all love him, and he's you know, his amazing self in this movie, and I think that's people who are drawn to that first. But I think just Rick Moranis, I'm just enjoying them in this movie. Just him as the relentless financial advisor is just delicious. And then when he turns into the creature inside him, and he's like
the Keymaster,
and just in the same tone, and as he was talking about his party and his and his taxes and all this stuff and the savings, he just talking about this Mesopotamian bullshit about the
time of your doom is already at hand. Time of your doom.
It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. So I only have like wrote 2 notes. I was just watching the movie, enjoying myself. Just 2 notes.
Yeah.
There's a scene where before the eggs. Actually, both of my notes are based on this scene. I noticed 2 things. One thing, like when I watched Ghostbusters for the first time, I always thought Stay Puft Marshmallow was an actual product.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know it's a fake thing.
Yeah.
So I was confused. Like, okay, where is this coming from? And then I was like, yeah, I heard it was fake, but like they're all talking about it. I didn't understand.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
But I noticed the first time in my life watching this movie, like the commercials and the actual Stay Puft Marshmallows, they're in scenes. Like when the eggs are popping.
Yeah.
I never noticed that. And there's like a billboard and everything. But the other thing that was funny is I was watching this with my wife, and every time the scene comes up and she's going up and she has a paper bag full of groceries, I just think of my wife, because I remember when she was telling me when she was a kid, she always dreamed of like, you know, being this independent woman living in an apartment, and she can, because back in the day when we lived in Serbia, you get the nasty, like, you know, plastic bags, just like the cheapo plastic bags, and you get your groceries in there. But it's like, you know, when I'm going to be grown up, I'm going to buy groceries in a paper bag, like an American, live in the city, and the vegetables will be, and the vegetables will be sticking out of it. And you get the carrots and everything and going up into your apartment. So I just watched that and I was like, yeah, I remember that. I love it. It's a prime example of the paper bag with the groceries going up.
Yeah.
I love dirty New York. Of the before it was cleaned up in the 80s, in the 90s actually, the last grimy, disgusting New York of the 80s. I just love the vibe. I just love like before they cleaned up those ugly ass. Well, no, they're beautiful buildings, but they were so ugly, you know, like the Art Deco, the 19th century.
The old stuff from, Nice.
I just gives me good vibes. I like it. It probably was a terrible time living in New York at that time. Crime everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that time period.
When ghosts roamed.
Yeah. And we had to defend New York from Gozer the Gozerian.
Gozer the Gozerian. Do you have any thoughts about Ghostbusters?
I had thoughts after I watched it, which was 2 days ago.
Oh no, they're gone. The thoughts.
They're gone.
Poof. You need to write those thoughts down.
I mean, it's just because I had some profound thoughts, and I should have written them down. I'm not good at that.
Not so profound, are they? When they're gone in 2 days, it's just like poof, like the marshmallow.
Yeah. The more I watch it, the older I get, the better it is.
I didn't know that sentence is going to go somewhere. I thought it's going to be, the more I watch it, the older I get. It's full stop. It's like an aging machine.
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Did you like it when you saw it for the first time? Do you remember?
I didn't understand it like it was fine, but I didn't understand what made it so special until I watched it now more, because it's like, you know, they're setting up a business, and then, you know, there's all these jokes about laws and, you know, like
the regulations, and
then them going to the hotel, catching the Slimer, and then they're like $5,000. The hotel.
Did you notice
like, $5,000? I'm not paying for it. I will not pay. And then they're like, well, then we'll just bring it. We'll just take it out.
Did you notice?
We'll just release him again. No.
Egon pointing with his hands how much to Peter Venkman when they're in that scene. He's like this 4,000, and then he's like 4,000,
and then
I didn't for the other
that.
Special, and Egon's going like this, and it's like 1,000. There's so many like hilarious hidden stuff hidden between those three, like the acting.
It's all thanks to those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, no, everyone who listens to this obviously knows that it's written by Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis joined in later. And
it says Rick Moranis uncredited for writer, so I guess he wrote a lot of his stuff. He probably ad-libbed all the like when he's going around the party. This is man.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad I invited clients instead of friends so we can get better connections, and
it's good stuff. Hey, so
and then And then what?
No. So here's a weird thing. I want to ask because obviously the Walter Peck is played by the same guy who plays the news guy from Die Hard.
Yeah.
But so and it was like it took me for a while to figure out that that's him. I was like, where do I know this guy? I was like, okay, I know him from there. But then when they're in the police, there's a policeman that releases them, and he looks exactly like the
Alan.
The police.
Yeah,
it is him.
Yeah. It's
Oh my goodness,
Reginald Vell Johnson.
It is.
Yes.
So it is really him.
Reginald Vell Johnson. I forgot about that. Yeah, I remember every time he shows up, I'm like, I like Reginald Vell Johnson. It's great. He always plays the cop.
That's amazing. So they're both there.
You know the Netflix show, The Movies That Made Us. I'm sure you've seen some of those on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen the Die Hard one.
Yeah. I thought Reginald Vell Johnson died, but he's actually in the documentary without a mustache, and it's like you can't recognize him.
Wow, well, that's true. Without a signature mustache, you can't. So here's some more lazy facts.
Yeah,
for
Ghostbusters
you
2016. We're gonna go.
Oh no, we're not gonna go that. We're gonna skip that out. Skip right. There you can see. Even Reitman is Zool and Slimer voice.
Oh, really?
Apparently. And then also you can see Ron Jeremy in the crowd.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The famous porn actor. He's there apparently. Dying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they made Ghostbusters 2. We talked about that. Then for a while, nothing. They said no Ghostbusters.
There was so many attempts.
Bill Murray was
there's a whole hour-long documentary about how Ghostbusters was never made in a sequel form. I did hear that Ghostbusters the game people say that's the true Ghostbusters 3 because it has all the voices from all the main characters back.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And it's story-driven and it's a sequel, but it's the game.
I never played that. Maybe
and
we
it
should
includes
check that
Harold
out.
Ramis in it too. So I always kept wanting to see that.
That's true. They were alive.
Because Harold Ramis tragically passed away in 2014, unless I'm mistaken.
Indeed.
Anyway,
I'm gonna look this up. And then
now we have
they did the 2016 one, which was not very good.
I didn't.
The only
see
good
it.
part was that Chris Hemsworth. I think he was funny in that, and the rest was just not.
Okay,
it's just weird.
I didn't.
It's just
see
a weird
it.
movie.
Did not see that film. That's
And
because
then
I don't
this.
care much about Ghostbusters. But then again, I watched this movie, so I wanted to see what what's all that about.
I'm curious.
Here we are.
Phil, because
Are you ready for Phil just doing a synopsis for the rest of the podcast?
The thing is, the trailer for this, the one I saw, was not very revealing. All I got was that Harold Ramis's grandchildren and single mom inherit his farm.
Oh, you know that, yeah.
And they never knew that he was a Ghostbuster. They get there, they start finding all this cool stuff, and then
what?
And then Ant-Man is like, "Don't you guys know Ghostbusters?" And that's all I know.
Okay. Well,
that's all I know. And that intrigued me because I was like, it's his son. Jason Reitman is directing it.
Yeah.
It's like from point of view kids, bringing out this, everyone's forgotten about the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
The kids don't know who Ghostbusters is. So, interesting concept. But is the movie interesting? Phil will tell us.
Yeah. So, it's a foregone conclusion that this is spoiler territory. In fact, I think I'm going to spoil this whole thing, and I think Tim doesn't mind.
I'm getting spoiled. I'm getting spoiled. I don't know what we're getting into.
Yeah.
I'm ruining this movie for myself.
So, I'm telling the story of Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I saw 3 hours ago. All right.
It's going to be great. Go.
So we start off with single mom down on her luck, can't even make rent, and she has these two children. One of them is
can't get groceries with paper bags.
Yeah. One of them is Phoebe, and the other one's Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor played by Finn Wolfhard, and Phoebe played by McKenna Grace.
So elegant.
I'm great. And guess what? They did inherit that old, busted out, looking haunted house, this disheveled place in the middle of nowhere. And
Right.
they are very dissatisfied that they have to go with their mom to the middle of nowhere. And
As
their
kids
mom,
probably would be.
played by Carrie Coon, who is, kind of snarky, kind of like very passive aggressive, but also, kind of cool. She's like the cool single mom, but she has a lot of baggage because of what happened. What happened to her? Well,
What happened? Tell us.
well, she constantly in the film tells us that, her dad never had time for her ever, and just left her and left everything to live somewhere in the middle of nowhere, didn't really talk to her. And, that hurts. And she's very upset about that. She's very angry about it. So, of course, the knowledge of that, how he died it's a little sad, but for her, it's just.
Right. She's got some issues.
She's got some issues with that. And she's single as well. So, I mean, from divorced parents, you also have some issues with the kids as well. So, Phoebe, the girl, is all into science. She has those glasses. She has the curly hair. Looks very familiar to.
She's got the Egon glasses, doesn't she?
Yeah, and she doesn't have a good time like playing with others, and I think you can kind of tell it's very typical. So they're forced to stay there at old Grandpa's place, and Grandpa died. They think he died from a heart attack, but the beginning of the film opens with a spooky silhouetted man in the house trying to trap something, and he doesn't, and he dies. But they think it's a heart attack.
The ghosts. The ghosts are back.
Anyway, she goes to Finn Wolfhard's character Trevor tries to get a job at a diner, meets a new girl who in the town. The new girl kind of makes fun of him a little bit, but then they kind of become friends. You know how
There's some love.
And then that one little girl, Phoebe, goes to summer school. That's where the summer teacher, played by Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, Mr. Gruberson, Gary Gruberson, who doesn't do anything at school, and he just plays old 80s movies, like one of them was Chucky, to all the kids, and doesn't care. He goes into the back. But
Nice.
you know what's this small town, why is it in the middle of nowhere? There's always these mysterious rumbles that happen.
The tremors.
And it's like, this place has no tectonic plates. So anyway, Phoebe befriends a child called Podcast.
Wait, what?
There's this little boy she meets at school who just carries a boom mic with him, a shotgun mic, and a recorder, and he's just talking like, and he has a podcast about, what do you think?
Ghosts, paranormal research,
about paranormal
Yes.
stuff like that. And
Love.
Phoebe doesn't believe in that. She doesn't believe. She just believes in hard science. And then Mr. Gruberson, she finds out that when he's playing videos for the kids at school, he's actually researching those tremors. And she's like, "I like science too." And he's like, "Ah, yeah, you do really, And so, eventually, she does discover these little things in the house that are Ghostbusters stuff, like the thing that flicks open.
Oh,
that has
the
wings with
little angel.
Then the ghost meter,
Ghost
yeah,
meter
the angel
angel.
ghost meter.
Yes.
And she sees mysteriously in the middle of the night in the house there's a chessboard and pieces move, and then she moves it. And then
she's
there's
playing
a ghost
She's
in
playing
there.
chess with an invisible man.
Yes, and ghosts is in there. And then Finn, of course, while he's doing stuff at the diner, he also finds the old Ghostbusters mobile.
He finds the old ghost. Okay,
Yeah, and he doesn't know what it is. None of them know what this stuff is.
right.
Now, the plot happens when I have to read the synopsis because I forgot what happens.
Just 3 hours ago, you were there. Even less.
Yeah. Okay, so Trevor finds there's this
Trevor?
mine. Trevor is played by Phil
Wolfmother.
Finn Wolfhard, yeah. And when he and his high school friends now go up there to that, there's like this big hill. I forgot to mention there's this huge like mountain hill,
Right.
and there's this big hole like a volcano, and you look underneath, and then because occasionally there are these rumblings, there's also like this ethereal, fiery smoke stuff going on.
Chambers
And
of
then you
fire,
can see the-
crack of doom.
And then you can, and then from and he's looking down, and from that distance you can hear, and then you hear, zoom.
Nice.
Yeah, and then so Phoebe and her friend podcast. He takes her to that canyon as
Right.
well. This happens a little bit before, and then we find out that it's our old friend from the architect of the building from the first film.
Oh, wait. So, Mr. I just said this last name, like, Shandor. Mr. Shandor is there?
Yeah, Mr. Shandor's excavations here in America for some reason. The ancient Babylonian god
in America.
Gozer the Gozerian. It's there, and he created this shrine underneath this town underground to resurrect Gozer.
Oh, okay. Okay, so wait. I'm confused. So in Ghostbusters, he's the architect, he builds this tower that kind of like gathers energy for Gozer to come. So before that, he's been digging somewhere in America to find Gozer? The Mesopotamian god. Okay.
It's another portal.
It's
just
another
like the building.
portal. Makes sense.
And that material from that stone was used to build the building in New York.
Okay.
Yeah. So eventually Finn fixes that car, the Ecto one.
Okay. So they get that rolling.
Then and Phoebe eventually finds under, of course, in the basement of that spooky house that they have to live in. Where does she go down? She goes down the fire pole.
There's a fire pole. Okay.
There's a fire pole. And like I've heard
all
some
the
people say,
callbacks.
why is there a fire pole? And I'm like,
You got to take all the stops.
yeah, true. But like, in my opinion, it's like, look, if a character really loved the good old days, why wouldn't they put a fire pole in their house?
Not too far-fetched.
Not too far-fetched, I would say. And she finds his lab. And you know, this whole time, because I knew nothing about Ghostbusters Afterlife, I didn't know who was her grandpa.
Oh, you didn't even pick up on that?
Specifically. No, not really. Until, this is the funniest thing, until, like, I was having my thoughts. I'm like, yeah, I mean, she looks like, could she be her grandfather? And the only way I got 100% confirmation was when she was exploring the underground lab, which I didn't know was a lab yet. She looked and saw this whole rack of spores, molds, and fungus.
Oh. Yeah.
That's because that line sticks in my head. I remember it. That's like one of the biggest lines I remember of Ghostbusters.
It's
I
so
collect
funny
spores,
because
molds, and fungus.
the flirting between those
It's so
two
good.
is so beautiful. It's just so nonchalant because he's so accepting of it in his own Egon way. And it's just lovely. There's no like, oh, you know, I don't date women.
Yeah.
It's just like,
of
spores,
course.
fungus, and whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
lime.
Anyway, she finds that. Turns out there's a light, there's a desk lamp, and it's like the whole lab, right? The lab has everything. And
Right.
It has all the everything,
The
like you
gizmos
know,
and
like you
gadgets.
would know, you
Yes.
know. And there's like the epic music, da da da. You know, you see
Yeah.
all the Ghostbusters stuff. So she, you know, so we find out also that there's
So
like,
wait, but do they know what Ghostbusters is? Because I remember in the trailer they're like,
well, that's
"What?
the thing. I was
Ghostbusters?"
gonna.
And Ant-Man
yeah,
is like,
I'm gonna
"Ghostbusters
get
amazing."
to that. So she finds all that
Okay.
stuff. She finds. I don't remember if it was in that scene or not, but she finds the trap. Takes the trap to
Yes.
school because she's bored. Podcast doesn't know what that is. She doesn't know what that is,
Right.
but
Too
she's like,
young.
it's science stuff. I believe in science. And then Gary Gooberson, played by Ant-Man, goes, wait, that's a replica, right? That's a really cool replica. And she's like, yeah, it's replica. And then something happens where where like a little puff of like ghost smoke comes out, and he's like, it's not, it's real. And he's like, it's from the Ghostbusters. From 1984, the Ghostbusters. That when New York was like
Those
ravaged by
bastards.
ghosts.
Yeah.
And then he's like, let me show you. Like we're going on YouTube. Look right here. There's the commercial. From
Okay. When
We're ready
when
to
they take a
believe
step
you.
forward.
you know? And then, and it's a sentimental moment for her. And then they're like, okay, let's try to open the ghost trap. They open the ghost trap. One of the ghosts comes out, and then it like escapes into the mountain. You know, the scary mountain.
Back to the
Gozer
hole.
Mountain. Yeah. So that's kind of, I think I told you roughly enough, like where everything is building up to.
Establishing. This is the establishing, right?
Yeah.
So there's a hole, Gozer hole.
Yes.
And they know who Ghostbusting is.
It has to happen,
Okay, let's
right?
take the ride.
And there's also one sequence where Podcast and Phoebe go with, they test out the
gear.
What's it called? The plutonium, the
proto pack?
the photon, no.
Photon pack?
I'm not a Ghostbusters fan. I don't know. I don't remember everything. The proton pack. Proton pack.
No, what is it?
They test the proton pack, and then
proton pack.
And they catch a ghost. They catch like not Slimer, but like a ghost that eats metal. And it was CG, and I was thinking, would have been cool if they just did the puppet. What's the big deal, right? They transparent puppet. That worked so well with Slimer. It really did. But anyway, all that aside, they fail to capture that thing once. They do it again with Finn Wolfhard driving.
Yes.
And they destroy half of
the
town with it, like trying to catch that ghost. They get taken to jail, which is a little bit funny. Finn's
a bit of a callback.
Yes. It was. I recognized that. I got that. Yeah. And then it's a little funny because they're kids, and then the police chief says, like, what's her name? Phoebe says, I want a phone call, right? Because that's what you get. And what does he say? Who are you going to call?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's funny. I could not. I was like, wait, what is it? I was scanning through the movie, the original one. Like, what did they say? I know they were asking for a phone call. I know Ernie was asking for a phone call, but I was like, I did not. Okay.
Yeah. And so she calls the Ghostbusters number 555 so and so and so on.
Right.
And I thought it's not going to get anywhere. Guess what? It reaches Dan Aykroyd. Old Dan Aykroyd. Yes. What's his name in the movie? Because I remember Egon and Ray. I remember Venkman, but I don't remember. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, Ray.
Ray, yes. It reaches Ray, who's old, and then they have a little conversation. Phoebe asks about her grandpa because she doesn't know anything about him. But before that, we find out that when the call starts, Ray is just like, no, he left us. He was just getting weird. He was just telling us about like the end of the world and stuff. I forgot to tell you that everyone knows about Grandpa the dirt farmer, because he doesn't farm anything in his farmhouse, Spengler, in that old town. Everyone knows about him, but they think he's crazy because he doesn't do anything.
Oh, like, okay, so he's like just a...
And he's also he's an embarrassment.
The old Ben,
he's
crazy...
he's an embarrassment to his daughter as well and stuff like that. Because he never talked
crazy person, yeah.
And so even the Ghostbusters thought he was going crazy. And like there's signs in front of his farm that says like, the revelations. Remember that? The biblical quote in
cats and dogs.
Yeah, living together. Mass hysteria.
Exactly.
And so he said that, and he was just explaining like, what happened to Ernie Hudson. And I don't remember his character's name, but
I don't remember Ernie's. What is this? Winston? I think so.
Winston, yes. Yeah. Winston. What happened to Winston and Venkman? And, they're all doing okay. After 32 years, there have been no ghosts after Gozer or Vigo, if you add that.
Which is the funniest thing. I was thinking about this. If this is like a movie about going to business, like the first Ghostbusters sucks because they basically ruined their business. They stopped ghosts altogether.
Yeah, they said in the movie, like Ray says, like, Venkman has probably thought we were doing our job too well.
Exactly.
Catching ghosts too fast.
You just solved it.
So there was no business for us, and so like we had to stop. We couldn't do anything. But the only one who was going crazy because he was supposed to be the logical guy was Spengler, and Spengler just isolated himself, went into the middle of nowhere, and I was like, "That's it." And then the police officer's like, "That's it. That's your time. You can't talk anymore to him." But before that, she said, he's my grandpa. And he's like, yes, his family?
Yeah.
And so that was,
Okay.
that was a revelation to Ray. And then we don't see Ray anymore. And then
Never
comes
again?
the climax.
That's it? That's the
well, no,
okay,
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Ah.
I'm coming to the end. Then the climax happens, right?
Uh-huh.
All this is the build up to the climax. So the kids. Oh, by the way, yeah, and so Mr. Gooberson,
Cooperman.
Ant-Man, and Carrie Coon, like their mom.
Yes.
They get along very well. He's going on dates with her and stuff, and they're cute. They're very
Little
cute.
romance there.
And when that happens, all the kids. So Finn Wolfhard podcast, Phoebe and Finn Wolfhard's not girlfriend yet, girlfriend that he met at the diner.
Okay. Diner
all
friend.
talk about what's been happening, the big mountain thing, why there's this,
Yes.
why ghosts are leaking out and stuff like that, and they all go with the Ecto-1 to explore down the hole. They go down into the tunnel.
Into the mountain hole.
They go down into the mine, but it wasn't a mine. It was actually, like I said, it was like this place that was created by the Slovak guy.
the Slovakian.
Yeah.
Ivo Shandor.
Yeah,
Apparently.
Shandor, right? And then when they're there, there's like this portal that keeps letting out the ghosts, but we find out that in that, like, this whole cave and portal that was made by Shandor,
Mm-hmm.
Egon was not crazy because he put all these proton packs like automatically to keep suppressing the ghosts from coming out, like the dimension.
Okay, so the open gate, but like he has like a security.
Yeah, so every
for, like,
time,
catching
every
the
time they
ghosts.
keep trying to come out, what's it called? The beam from the Ghostbusters beam.
the stream. Don't ever cross the
it's
stream.
like they're propped up like all around the hole, and then it always keeps not letting them in, like in Hercules when the Titans, when the
Yeah.
And what they also
laser
find
door.
is they also find Shandor in a glass coffin, who's waiting.
He put himself.
Yeah, he's in some kind of magical death.
Oh, he's alive?
No, he's not. He's dead.
Okay.
His corpse is there, but when the time comes, he'll resurrect as well.
Oh, this was his plan. This is like
yeah.
you wanted to. This is his safety net.
Yes. And I'll tell you who that is, unless you know who it is or not.
I'm looking at the IMDb and I just realized.
You
okay,
already know.
All right. Okay, but the audience doesn't know because they probably haven't seen the movie.
So the apocalypse might come if this.
Okay. Well, let me try to get the image of my head. So they went and they explored the demon halls. Is this after or before the jail?
After.
So they how did they escape the jail?
Their parents get them out.
Okay, parents get them out. They all go in the car and they go and they find Ivo Shandor.
Yes.
Okay. I'm there with you.
Yeah, and so these two other little ghosts come out, and they happen to be, it's the same thing. Remember where the gargoyles? You saw the gargoyles on the top of the tower.
Yes.
And then the eyeball, the stone eyeball falls out, and you see the red eye coming through.
Yes.
Those two dogs, they're back.
Oh, they're the dogs. The dogs
are
come
back.
out. They're like the heralds of
Gozer. The keymaster and the gatekeeper. So
exactly.
Mr. Gooberman's going to Walmart at night.
Okay.
As you do in the Midwest America. Like, what else do you do at 1 in the morning? You go to Walmart. You go buy yourself some ice cream.
That's all you do every day.
And then
whole day.
And then he looks and sees in the counters the Stay Puffed marshmallows, and then they start turning into little tiny marshmallow men. And then they're like little gremlins, you know what I mean? They're just like coming out, and it's
causing havoc.
And he's like, "Oh, this is bad!" And he runs off, and he turns the corner, and he sees one of the dogs just eating all this dog food. And it turns around, and I was just like, I'm so happy to see those dogs again.
Were the dogs like claymation looking, or were they like full on CGI?
I'm gonna say they're half puppet, half computer, and
nice.
Honestly, they looked really good. This is my opinion. They looked great when it was running. Finally, you can actually see it like running, because it's like, I think it was very viscerally done, and I liked. And maybe it's just me being biased because I liked seeing something old come back to something new, and it looks good. It's not like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. This is actually quite nice. And so one of them absorbs him, and then so the mom.
Oh no! Are they going to be the gatekeeper and the key
mom
master?
goes down into the because she can't find Phoebe. She goes down into the basement, and then she sees that Spengler. Yeah, what do you think she sees? Come on, you have to guess. This is typical.
Okay. So she goes.
This entire movie, she's been dissatisfied. She didn't like her dad. She was upset at her dad. She was angry because he didn't do anything for her. He didn't talk to her.
I don't know, like a photo of her or something.
A whole wall.
Is it like The Simpsons?
Of her
Oh yeah, The Simpsons do it like for Maggie.
Yeah. That's it. There you go. And you know what? I liked it, but I mean, it's you caught it.
It's classic Hollywood.
And then guess what? If she turns around and then out from the darkness, whoa, Zul.
Oh, so she's gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And he's keymaster.
Yes.
They're gonna bang on top of a New York building.
So the ending is pretty much
okay. I'm curious where this is going.
She turns into the gatekeeper.
Right.
Ant-Man turns into the keymaster, and you can expect how that's they're weird. They're weird.
Yes.
They meet each other at the top of that little haunted mountain, and it's very funny. And she takes off her clothes, and it turns into that dress.
Oh, she's got
the dress too.
We're call back and everything. Everything's call back.
And so, what else is there to do but make a plan?
Across the streams.
Make a plan about how we're gonna stop Gozer, because the thing stopped working, and the whole
creatures
thing
coming out.
Creatures coming out. In that temple, the shapes are moving, and it's turning into that pyramid again. Just like in the first one. And remember, they always kept talking about how like Gozer can turn into anything. Remember, it doesn't have to be.
Oh shit! Is that Gozer turned into Stay Puft? I always thought he just manifested
no.
Okay, all right, makes sense.
No, the physical appearance of Gozer when she's in Ghostbusters, or
when she comes
it
out
is in
as like
Ghostbusters. Yeah. Are you a god?
Yep.
It's. I mean, she's back. Comes back.
She's back. She's CGI.
No. It's not the same lady, but it's not CG. It's not CG lady. Not CG lady.
It's real lady, right?
She's back, and the kids get there in time because they figured it all out. They're like, if this happens, then it's going to be even worse than the New York one, because this is the source, right? This is the portal. This is the actual place.
This is not just
So they get there with their Ecto one, and they get their things, and it's up to them. And no one believed and like the kids, but now I think the whole thing was that Phoebe didn't believe in ghosts, but now that now she's at the on the edge of having to fight Gozer.
Yes,
now she does, and she has had this thing about making scientific jokes, really funny science jokes, and so she finally gets to the. Oh, by the way, yeah. So let's just go back to when Gozer resurrects and everything.
Who?
The Slovak guy again, the architect.
Oh, Shandor, Ivo Shandor.
Yeah, Shandor wakes up.
Okay.
And he goes, "Your Majesty, Gozer, now I'm glad you're here. That we're going to make a new world." And then Gozer just splits him apart like King Shark from.
Oh yeah.
From Suicide Squad.
Okay.
So that's basically it. That was a nice little cameo.
That's Ivo Shandor.
That's our cameo.
Okay.
What happens is it's essentially Ghostbusters 1 again.
I feared so.
And they at least managed to trap one of the dogs. So Gozer is like half baked now, so she just turns into like a spirit version, like just a scary smoky version of herself, because she doesn't have the two dogs anymore, because they tricked her into like they trapped one of them. They escape back to the house because the farmhouse is actually a giant trap, big giant ghost trap for Gozer, because Spengler knew that this was going to happen.
He knew.
And so this is where the final act happens. They all get, they get the mom back because the mom, got reverted from the dog.
So it's only Ant-Man as a dog.
Yeah,
now.
so only Ant-Man, and the second dog becomes Finn's sort of girlfriend that we really don't. She's just there.
Okay.
And Gozer's back, and they try the trap. The trap doesn't work. Right in front of their house, Gozer's right there. He's gonna zap them. He's gonna kill them. And then guess what? They hear something on the side. It's like, hey, da-da.
Oh no, it's a Ghostbusters.
It's the original Ghostbusters. Oh, no. The old men.
The three
remaining old men.
Are they like
in full costume?
In full costume?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I'm just imagining like really old.
Yeah, I was both happy, but also I was
Bill
a little
Murray.
bit like, yeah, it's old Bill Murray, old Winston, old Ray,
Old Dan Aykroyd holding his alien vodka, whatever, his Crystal Skull vodka.
His Crystal Skull vodka. And I mean, come on, just you can imagine the last act happening this way, like
And they all like use their streams, and they all cross them,
and it doesn't
then
work.
Big bada boom.
Then
doesn't work.
Then
Then what? CGI Egon comes or something like that.
CGI Egon comes.
Oh no!
Helping Phoebe.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. So let me. Okay.
He's
so
a ghost.
CGI
He's a
Egon.
ghost.
Is he ghost? He's a ghost.
As a ghost, so he's like a blue
Is this his
ghost.
voice?
Doesn't talk.
Does it sound
Doesn't
like?
talk.
Doesn't. Oh. Okay. That at least that. Thank God.
Yeah.
But he.
So I was
But
just
what?
like,
He guides. Okay. Yeah.
So they all help each other out, and Gozer gets taken into the traps. Finally, I mean, I think the way they did that was pretty good because there was always mistakes. So it's not just one and done.
Not just full on.
So I was happy
Job
about
done.
that. And so the ending, I don't know what you could say about this. This certainly feels like something for Ghostbusters fans.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if you would watch this film, you would be like, oh, because it's, because Ghost Egon stays a little longer, and the old Ghostbusters are like, I missed you, and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
But the way they did that was it didn't really look like CG guy, it did look like Harold Ramis, but as Egon.
Harold Ramis Ghost. Okay. Egon Ghost.
And he didn't
like young
talk.
Egon or old Egon?
Older
Ghost?
Egon, a little bit older.
That's true, but the ghosts don't talk at Ghostbusters, so it's fine.
So he's just like, says hi, like meets his grandkids, and then finally gives a hug to his daughter, who he didn't neglect because he was trying to save the world. Turns into dust.
Exactly.
And
classic Hollywood.
And Bill Murray, he had some quips and stuff like that, and he's just like, "Come on, we're gonna go back inside and have some hot cocoa," and and the film ends.
Okay.
And then there's something after the credits because I'm watching the credits. Film Wolfhard, Dan Aykroyd, and then it's a special appearance Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, but she wasn't. You didn't mention her.
No, she wasn't.
So
she wasn't
afterwards.
In the movie.
Okay.
She's in the little mid credits.
Okay. What's Sigourney do?
And it's basically, I think it's cute. I think it was really cute.
Mm-hmm.
It was just at the end, and it was basically the card with the zapper. It's her in the living room with Bill Murray. Just doing the, like Bill Murray is trying to guess the card.
Oh, the from the first movie. Okay, makes sense.
And they had a little reminiscing and stuff, and so we know that these characters ended up together.
Okay, in the end,
nice.
The romance, but they go. I said the romance didn't go anywhere in the first movie, and in the end, they solved it.
Yeah, and that's the end of the film.
Okay, so my heart desire for this movie was because a couple of years back. Rick.
So what do you think about that? I actually did a whole synopsis of this film.
You basically went through the whole movie. Here's the thing. I think there's points of it which were like, call back to the early movie. Like it felt Star Wars, Force Awakens-y, like it's, and then we do the same thing. But there's bits that in my head played like a good movie. So, I don't know. In my head movie, it's like a half and half. Half of them groaning and half of them like, oh, this is exciting. But you actually saw the movie.
I would say the same. And I would say the same.
Oh, really? Okay.
I give it a half and half. Like, I enjoyed it. I felt great for the fans who probably appreciated this. I liked seeing Gozer come back, but at the same time, maybe it would have been better to have a new one. But if they had a new villain, it would have to be as good as, like at least, like Vigo in the second one. I mean, he's not as good as...
Yeah, no.
But the thing is, like, the movies aren't about the villains at all. They're not. Like, the first movie, it has nothing to do with Gozer. That was just a thing, right?
Yeah, at the end, just a little thing. But wait. So
it was a thing.
Is number 2 canon in this? Is something from number 2 mentioned?
On the Wikipedia, it says it is.
Okay.
But they didn't mention it. They just mentioned the first one in this movie. So...
so in the end, even though he's back in the acting, Rick Moranis wasn't in it in the sequel. They didn't get him.
Oh, yeah. No, that's unfortunate. I didn't think of that. But everyone else was.
Everyone else was, it looks like. Yeah, even Egon in ghost form.
And I forgot that way at the beginning, Annie Potts was in it too.
Oh, wait, but was she grandma then?
Hello, Ghostbusters.
Is she grandma then?
She just... I honestly was kind of random because she just appeared at the beginning when the family went into the old house, and she's like, "Yeah, this old house is really old. There's no value in it." I sound like hello, fellow kids.
But wait, I'm confused. What like did she and Egon were dating in the first one, so they didn't end up together? She's not grandma then?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Weird. All right. Okay.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know anymore. She was there, but then she was gone.
And
like
then she
ghost.
was gone like a ghost. Okay, so I guess that's not explained. Maybe people you also saw Ghostbusters. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I'm just a listener. I'm a listener of the tale that Phil's brought from the cinema. Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
And that's the movie. And part of me liked it. Part of me was okay. It was okay. It's definitely no Ghostbusters 1. I don't think you can.
That's hard.
Change that.
I mean,
but overall, I found it to be. It was all right. It was all right. I liked what I saw.
Okay.
I liked what they were trying to do with it. They were trying to make it more sentimental, more like family kind of. There's like a broken family and
kids,
it had to do with Egon.
This was about adults. That's what I'm wondering, because like the first one has got a lot of adult humor as well. Like that's gone, right?
Define adult humor.
Like getting a ghost blowjob.
Oh, that kind of, because like for me, when you mention that, because like I said at the beginning of this podcast episode, I didn't understand Ghostbusters until I watched it like 2 days ago, and I'm like, this is funny, that's funny, because it had to do with things that I wasn't familiar with, like loans and money and
Yes. And him, the triple mortgage. There's a lot of like quips, thrown around the conversation that you don't pick up as a kid, obviously.
But yeah, so I mean, this is kind of, I think I would call this like a harmless, nice ending to if you feel like watching 3 Ghostbusters movies.
Okay.
Because like the second one wasn't, you just can't replicate 1. So if you're in it for the second one, you find that fun, and then the third one, this one,
yeah.
And
as we talked about the first one, it's like you can't really even quantify what is good about the first one. It's just a bunch of random stuff. There's no, you can't really pinpoint. Maybe you guys can. I don't know. But I was watching and I was like, yeah, there's just little bits and pieces. And in the end, it just sums up into a nice experience, Watching the
Oh, by the way, I have the stems for Ghostbusters, the song.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to be using it here. Ghostbusters! Yeah.
Just little bits. Just a cappella.
Ghostbusters! Yeah! It's just weird. Like that's me discussing this movie that I saw.
That's okay. That's, I mean,
that was my duty, and I went and did that.
So speaking of duty, we're in a bit of trouble. So for the next,
oh yes, this is tragic. This is tragic. I am so sad. Our Christmas extravaganza has been cut short.
Yeah. Well, the other podcast that we upload every couple of years is the
Years.
Matrix Minute podcast. That one's
Minute.
safe because of the terrible deal that AT&T did for Warner Media. They made them basically release everything that comes out in cinema on HBO Max the day it's released in cinema. So thankfully, I will be able to see Matrix at home while Phil and Jake go to see it at cinema. I would have liked to see it at the cinema, but I'll still see it at home because I can.
Yeah.
But since I'm in lockdown, Matrix is safe. But for the next episode of Twofold Podcast, we're going to have a special episode. We're going to return to the first episode of this podcast, and we're going to watch the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3 No Way Home, compared to Spider-Man 3, the old one. And it's going to be perfect. It's going to be a callback. We're going to do the Ghostbusters thing. We're just going to call back everything we did in the first episode. But the cinemas are in lockdown, so I don't know what I'm going to do, guys.
This is sad. This is tragic. Tim can't watch movies in the theaters. He can't watch Spider-Man in the theater. What's he going to do?
I don't know. We have about 10 days to figure this one out. 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens. I do not want to repeat this, even though Phil's explanation and plot synopsis was amazing. But it's Ghostbusters. It's okay. We can do this. But I think to have a deeper conversation about Spider-Man.
Because that's the funny thing, right? I finished my synopsis and it's like, you can't give me anything.
Nothing. I got nothing in return. I could just absolutely nothing.
You know what? Finn Wolfhard
Mm-hmm.
is, if you were looking for Timothy Chalamet, Timothy what? What's his name?
Champagne. I don't know.
No, it's not. Come on.
I don't know what his name is. Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Kaliman.
Chalamet, right?
Chalamant. It says Chalamant. Chalamant.
So okay, I was looking at Letterboxd reviews for Ghostbusters Afterlife, and one of them was simply Finn Wolfhard was, if you're looking for Timothy Chalamet at a Walmart.
Oh no, the budget Timothy.
That's sad.
Chalamet. That's sad. He's too busy doing it up. Yeah.
Anyway, what I wanted to say was I had this plan, me and Jake, because I don't want to get into a situation where we have annoying children in the Matrix. And I realized, have you ever done this, Tim? Have you ever gone to, because our cinema chain here has a fancy screening.
We have one that's a VIP, basically. You can.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
I'm trying to get Jake to do that with me. I've never done it before.
But the problem is that I don't know if you, just warning, the VIP one here, it's like a small screen.
Yeah, but
it's zero screen, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it's away from the children.
The children can afford the VIP.
Because I don't want to get it ruined. I don't know if this movie will be any good. Maybe it's going to be another Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I'll be disappointed.
Dude, it's so funny that it's all of this is just where it's true twofold. It's like we're just watching. It fits with our theme because we're comparing things, but it's just like just like continuation. Okay,
Matrix Resurrections, right?
Spider-Man Resurrections.
Oh, yeah.
Ghost Life. I mean, Ghostbusters. It's all there. But here's
Ghost Life.
Before we finish today, is there? Are you looking forward to any of this stuff? Are you looking forward to Spider-Man? Are you looking forward to Matrix? Are you excited?
I'm absolutely looking forward to The Matrix. I am 100% looking forward to it. Huh. Why? Did you watch a new trailer?
No. I'm just I feel like I'm not. I don't care. I don't.
Wow, because we were so excited a couple of months ago.
We were excited until I saw the trailer. And
which one? The new one?
Whatever. The trailer. The trailer, the Matrix trailer. But the thing is, when I saw the trailer, it was like, okay, there's lots of possibilities where this can go, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm still under the blind belief that there's a lot of possibilities because I have faith, and I can be wrong.
It was the posters.
I will tell you,
it was the posters. I think the posters
look like poop, but so did the Matrix Reloaded posters. I mean, then again, that movie wasn't
that one. That movie sucked. No, the posters. I don't know, something about the posters that the promise of possibilities where the trailer will like it could be something very interesting or it could be just a boring Ghostbusters, really. But I think something about just seeing those posters.
By the way, Ghostbusters Afterlife was fine, but that's it. You know what I mean? It was fine.
You don't want the Matrix to be just fine. I mean, it's like whatever. I don't care. I don't want to revisit the Matrix. I could just watch the old movie. I don't.
The kid actors were great though.
That's good.
Like, the girl who played Phoebe and the girl who played podcast. The boy who played podcast. Yeah. They're great. They're so cute. They're great.
But it's the thing is just like I don't want my Matrix to be just good. I just that's good. It's Matrix.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because like I feel I hear it likes the girls. I have some kind of faith that it's the Wachowskis, at least one of them. It's it's Lana.
Yeah.
OG. She could easily flip all this. I'm just thinking about how genre changing they were in the old ones, and like their attempts with Matrix 2 and 3, right?
It's
like their attempts were very like honorable. Like they really tried to do something different with
it's all true. I just fear that directors at that age, it's just
that's what I was gonna say. You become different people after a while.
You become different people, and you've also just like I don't know. Can you
mojo?
Yeah. Can you be bold and just crazy? I think it's just that you stop kind of caring, but in a I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying like this movie better suck so bad that it's interesting, or going to be amazing. I'm just not looking forward to being okay. I don't know. Something about those posters made me feel like, oh, okay. There's going to be some interesting ideas, and the rest of the stuff I'm just going to be looking at bad cinematography.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't trust my.
No, I don't want you to.
My gut feeling has always been too optimistic.
You be excited. You have something to look forward to. I was just curious because I was like thinking, I'm like, I'm not really. Like, there's nothing right now for me. Maybe neither of these movies.
Oh, I'll tell you what made me completely disappointed.
What?
I did not want to watch the new trailer for Spider-Man.
You got to see it.
And I saw a clip, and it was the one where he's like, Amato Octavius, and they're like, and I'm like, this isn't the movie I'm going to watch. I can't believe this. This looks like it's exactly what I'm going to get.
I'm really not looking forward, especially because of that. Because here's the thing. We all know I like the new Spider-Man movie and Spider-Man movies, and I like the fact that what was happening, and I like the fact how the second one ended, and it was put us in this interesting position.
You know what they're gonna do, right?
And here's the thing: like I'm like, okay, great.
They're gonna go like they're going to switch that really fast.
Yes, and it's gonna be this new thing, and that's what's pissing me off because like, hey, they have this interesting conundrum for Spider-Man, and it's great, and immediately goes to. We go
to Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and it's like, here's the thing. Like, when I was watching the old ones, I was like, hey, they have Doctor Strange. He lives in New York. They have Spider-Man in New York. And the comics, they interact. It's great. So I was like,
always.
In the third one, I thought it's going to be like, oh, I have Spider-Man. I'm dealing with this Spider-Man thing in New York, a little small problem. I'll go visit Doctor Strange, my uncle, and he'll help me. And Doctor Strange is like, haha, that's an easy thing to solve for me. And it's something small and tiny, and you meet Doctor Strange for a few seconds, and he's like, goodbye, Doctor Strange.
Like he did, like in Thor.
Exactly.
3.
And you're like, bye, Doctor Strange. Goodbye, uncle. And no, it's the end of the world, and the world has changed, and there's these villains coming from the movies I don't like. It's all okay. It's going to be
funny
Civil
enough,
War,
Tim,
and I'm just
I think this should be a testament to just throwing old stuff at you and how fast that rots.
Yes.
Because I'm already not excited. I don't care anymore.
No,
I was intrigued when the trailer came out. It's like, oh, it's Doc Ock from the movie I really like.
Yeah.
But now I don't care anymore because they're on the posters and I don't care.
It just feels like we'll see when the movie. Well, you'll see. I don't know if I'll see if the movie.
Well,
comes
it's just like what David Koepp said when he was talking about in the making of Lost World Jurassic Park. He said, in the first movie, people were excited if we could do dinosaurs. Yeah. In the next movie, people are going to be asking, okay, we know you can do dinosaurs, but what can you do with them?
Yeah.
And so this is a miniature version of that, where it's like, oh, you brought Doc Ock, but what are you going to do with them?
Is all of
I know.
junk...
For you would rather have that away.
No, I mean, like even if you bring that up, it's like it feels like it's like you have this new Spider-Man. It's just like you're jumping into this big too big, like you have opportunity for some character development. I feel like it's going to be it is not going to be enough room.
yeah.
character development, because there's going to be all this multiverse madness.
No,
and
totally.
and it's not like you can't do, like, what was it? The other Spider-Man, the animated one, that was about multiverse. It was completely
Oh,
fine.
geez, the new trailer came out. I want to see it.
And that was completely fine, but I feel like this can't be like that. This is going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal that these guys are here. And I'm just like, I don't know. And it looks like he's fighting Doctor Strange.
Our December is turning out bleak, Tim.
Yeah, it's not. I need something. I don't know. Let's do a live stream next week.
Tim, what else can we look forward to after this?
I watched some cool things.
What else?
Some things I didn't like. Some things I liked.
What did you watch? Well, at least we can look forward to Spider-Verse 2.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I watched the Beatles documentary.
I started watching that before we did the podcast.
Check it out. I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
Oh, okay. I'm not a Beatles fan. I don't know much about the
Me
Beatles.
either. I don't know anything
But I found it very
about
interesting as a musician to watch. So, and I also looked up some Beatles stuff to understand some context of what's going on here.
I just watched interviews with Peter Jackson.
Oh, okay. I watched.
He looks so tired. Is he okay? I'm concerned.
He's got that like talking, like very. I'm very same feeling. Same Phil. He looks completely destroyed. Just like his health is not good. I'm worried for that man. He needs to take a break.
Me too. I think he has
Beatles.
taken a break.
Forget everything. Take a break, man. Your health is more important than all of this.
Yeah.
I watched South Park. They made a little TV movie.
yeah.
I can talk about South Park next time. We'll talk about South Park.
So tell me about what's happening in the world of South Park.
I don't know what's happening to South Park, but this was they made a I don't know what the business is. Somehow they made with Paramount. They made like a TV movie called Post-COVID. Yeah, and it's basically in the future with all the South Park characters being older. And it was I enjoyed it because South Park is a. I'll give you. We can talk about this on the Instagram live, but because I want to.
We missed our Discord group this week.
Year. We'll do it. We'll do one. But like
Tim, you gotta be. I would be active, and I wanted to ask you for the past couple of days, but I just thought
you were sick. Our kids are a bit sick, and it's all mental and everything. So it's okay. Sorry, guys, we didn't get to do it, but it's gonna be better in a few weeks. So we'll definitely do some more lives. But we. At the emergence of us becoming, young adults and going into adolescence, there's these things you watch, movies that shape us. And we have some mutual ones, like The Matrix and Lord of the Rings. And we have some that are not mutual, like you guys love, the
Spider-Man,
Mummy, Spider-Man, and X-Men.
The Mummy, X-Men.
Yeah,
I did not. South Park and Jackass.
Exactly, South Park and Jackass and Blink-182. These are the things that shape young little Tim.
Slipknot.
But South Park. But to me, like, it is an equivalent of like when at the same time as well, kind of came out when I watched Matrix for the first time, I had the same experience watching the South Park movie for the first time.
South Park.
So we can talk about that some other time. Cause
I was too prudish to enjoy South Park. Because when I was a kid, for some reason, I had it in my head that everyone who swears, who says cuss words, that shows who they are as a person underneath. So they're mean people, And so with that in mind, you can think about all the. I mean, it's funny enough. Like there were movies that I watched that I loved that had swearing in it, but it's still
hypocrite. But that was the selling point. That's how it was sold for me. It was like, it's a show where kids swear, and I was like, I'm on board. What is this?
Yeah,
show me this. Show me this sinful filth. I need to see this immediately when I was 12. All right. Okay. We're done. I think we're done with today's episode. Phil's coughing his lungs out. This doesn't sound good. I'm tired.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah, we're not afraid of no ghosts. We're done. We thank you for listening.
That was in the soundtrack.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. We do live stuff. We didn't do it for a while because Sitch with things, but this was an interesting episode.
That's the music.
This was an interesting
Ghostbusters music.
There you go. Oh yeah, the city music. I love the city. That's my favorite theme. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. No one talks about that enough.
No, I love it. It's a strings,
Elmer Bernstein.
and it's like it fits the New York people going in coats in the 80s in New York.
Yeah.
It fits
Yeah.
perfectly.
Have you seen that footage of New York in 1991 in
Yes.
HD?
Yeah, the people in the Wall Street people going up and down.
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum,
You should put that music on that.
ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum,
Just on repeat.
ba-dum.
10 hours of New York with Ghostbusters music.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm trying to elongate this, but I guess it's no use. We'll do it next. We'll go next week.
Yeah.
For Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man. I guess in some shape or form, Spider-Man's happening in 2 weeks. Somehow. We'll get Jake.
I'm so sorry you're going to have to watch Spider-Man 3.
I'm just I'm not going to just watch Spider-Man 3. I'm going to figure out. Sadly, Austria's closed. I can't go to Austria. Hungary is open, but
you're going to watch Spider-Man 3. You have to watch Spider-Man 3.
I'll watch Spider-Man somehow. All right.
You're going to have to. We're doing that. Aren't we doing Spider-Man?
We're doing Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
You're going to... Wait. Okay, so Tobey Maguire goes, I'm Spider-Man. Yeah. And then the other guy with the big hair
Andrew
goes, I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. How does
Edward Cullen.
Yeah, how does the new kid do
Tom
it?
Holland.
Yes. I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man. What are you talking about? I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Where's my suit? I can't. Mr. Shark, Mr. Stark.
Mr. Shark. Mr. Shark.
Mr. Shark, Mr. Shark.
Mr. Shark.
Where's
my Spider-Man?
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Okay, well, thank you for listening for this 1.5 podcast. One and a half.
Yeah.
No, wait, what do they call it? That twofold. 1.5-fold. 1.5-fold podcast.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it. You have a lively
Hope
week.
you enjoyed. Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Indeed, watch out for Krampus. He's right now. He's going around and he's whipping children with chains.
Yes, he is. I'm a witness. I'm a witness of this. When I was 5 years old, I remember.
He's whipping children. Saint Nick is going around. He's putting juicy goods in people's
scars
boots.
on their backs like Gollum.
Exactly. So watch out for the Krampus. Don't be bad.
Yeah. Are we gonna have a Christmas special sound or no?
Are we gonna have a Christmas special? What? Sure.
No, a sound for the Christmas times.
All right, we're done.
There is no Philip.
No.
There is only Zool. Who you gonna call?